Hello and welcome to my Froggy Game. In this video I'll be going through the game I made, I'll go through the code first and then show you how it looks and plays. Just for some context, for my game I based it off the classic game Snake, but it's edited, well I edited it to make it slightly different so it's more unique, and it's called Froggy because, I don't know, I just thought what's an animal that's similar to a snake, a frog, and I thought, well, that's just great, isn't it? Um, Firstly, right, yeah, let's look at the code. Firstly, as with any code, we have the included stuff. Yeah, so I've included diagram, the basics, yeah. Very basic stuff. And I have all my variables. They don't mean much to you right now, but they'll make sense by the end. As you can see, though, I have the basic game variables like game over, score and lives, and then like X and Y for like coordinates of things. Yeah, so that's great. As you can see, I have used an enumeration to define the different directions. I also have defined the tongue tip, yeah, this one, and the frog tongue. For these, I've chosen a capital O and a capital M. I was messing around with these characters, but thought these looked the best in the game for like each for their intended purposes. So I was like, great, amazing. Next up, I have I've made classes of flies and junk. Again, this doesn't really mean much, but once you play the game, you'll know what it is. Um, and so I've just made a class. They contain the coordinates of the object that it is. So like the flies coordinates and the junk's coordinates. And as you can see, I've made 5 flies, 2 junks. I thought that would be like a good amount. So, I mean, I tried it out with different amounts just to see what looked like, how it played, and I thought these like looked the best really for difficulty and yeah. So, right, first thing we come to is a start function that I made. I just added this as I don't want the player to just instantly start. So I display a cool logo and then have the options for the user to pick here. Here. Oh, hello. These ones. And then I think, yeah, basically they just choose whichever one they want. I think it just makes it slightly more user-friendly compared to just starting the game straight away. And yeah, I added an option, an input even, so that the user, usability. And then we've got the how to play, which gives you an access, which you can access from the start menu. This gives a very general idea of how to play, but it's generally quite self-explanatory, I think, of like how to play once you start playing it. The only thing is like knowing the difference between the flies and the junk is like the main thing. Right, next we have our setup function. In this function, I'm basically just giving flies and junk their coordinates here, from where to start, as well as where the player starts. As you can see, the flies and junk start on either end of the grid, but they do have like a random height, as demonstrated by like Y and X. Yeah, so I also set the amount of lives, they're down here. I decided 3 because I tried lots of different, well, that's a lie. I tried 5 to begin with, but after actually playing it, I realised you could just be playing it for a long time before reaching 0 lives. So I decided to make it 3 just so like you weren't endlessly doing it, having to just press X to quit all the time. Next, so the draw function. This one's quite long, so let's get into it. Firstly, as this function repeats, as you can, well, yeah, there's a lot of for loops here. I've added a system CLS, which just clears the screen. Then I added the title, so Froggy right here. And then I add, yeah. Now we have the making of the grid. I just use hashtags because it's just quite basic. I tried using lines, but it didn't really work that well. And then we've got a bunch of for loops, just a bunch of them. We've got the y-axis here and the x-axis here. And basically, it just makes a grid as well as like positioning the flies and the junks and the placement of the tongue. Yeah. As you can see, for the fly, I chose a percentage sign, which I personally thought was a genius, as it does look like a little fly with wings and a little body. And for the junk, I chose a little @ symbol, as it just looks different from the fly to like easily differentiate them. Yeah, so that's that. This is just yeah, and then coming to the end of that. This is a little frog that I originally made, that I hope to have in the game. I was going to have him with the grid, within the grid. However, after many unsuccessful attempts, I decided to remove him, and this is the one down here that I made instead to put on this beneath the grid, because it was just too hard. I literally spent so long trying to make it work, but it just didn't. So I just, problem solved with this, which I think doesn't look bad either, but yeah. Yeah, so, and then also, yeah, underneath the little froggy is score and your lives, just, basic display of stuff. Next, we have the input function. This is the if statement basically just sees what keyboard's keys hit when the game is running. For my game, I use the classic WASD keys for movement and X in case you want to finish early. Yeah, and then basically when these are hit, it like changes the enumerated direction, instead of like actually just like obviously dia equals left, dia equals right, and whatnot. So that's lovely. That's it for input. Then I've got the simple movement. Basically the flies, they start at different places. Some of them start from the left, some of them start from the right. And then basically they just move along the screen. Oh, so as well as junk, actually, they just move along the screen. So like the first two flies move left across the screen because they start on the left, and the rest of the three flies start on the right, so they go right. Which just, yeah. For this, the logic function basically just makes the game work. As I said before, this is inspired by Snake, and this for loop is what is used in Snake. How that I edited it slightly basically allows the tongue to grow in size by following the tongue tip, rather than like getting the fruit and then adding the end of the tail. Oh, I've got next. Next we have the direction to find. So obviously before, if you press the W key, it would make it up and whatever. So then this is just using that. And basically I made a variable called tongue length, which, well, I tried to make it look like a tonguelet, like an actual tongue that increases and decreases when it goes away and towards the mouth. It kind of works, but not completely as I would have liked, but I'm still happy with my attempt. But you'll see that in a minute. And then, oh god, I'm running out of time. And then, there's this thing, so it makes it quite continuous. In the Snake, you normally have, when it touches the border, it quits the game, but for me I didn't want that, so I made it continuous. So when it touches the border, it will just go from, like, say it goes left, or then go to the right and continue going left, and so forth. It doesn't do that for the top and bottom though. Right, for movement, yeah, so when the fly, well, same with the tongue tip, when the flies hit the border, they just reset at a different height, back to where they started from, and the jump too, which just resets them. And then this basically become into, yeah, basically just is like to do with contact. So when the tongue tip hits a fly, it will add one to the score and reset it. And same with the tongue tip, it will reset back to the mouth. And then same with the junk, apart from instead of adding a score, it will take away a life. This little thing here is just like a representation, like graphic representation of the lives, because I could have just had the numbers, but I thought, like in games you have like the little hearts, I thought that would be cool. This changes the background color to green to match the frog theme, as I put in the comment here. And then you've got the menu of, like, basically it keeps on running until the user presses S, but they can obviously press the H to like make it like see the how to play, and they can keep on pressing H until they finally understand how to play, and then they'll finally play. Right, that's pretty much it. But now to actually play it, so here we go. So as you can see, it comes up. If you just do a little how to play, it just shows, and it, like I said, it keeps on repeating. You can put whatever you want in here, it will just keep on repeating. Yeah, and then S. So as you can see, you can start here. The flies are moving across, which is great. Yeah, the junk's moving across as it should be. It's a little bit laggy, can't lie, not perfect. But right, let's play. As you can see, the tongue, yeah, okay, the tongue's not perfect, but I tried. That's what matters. So as you can see, the flies, when I hit a fly, I get a score, and the tongue resets back to the mouth. And if I hit a, oh, missed that junk. If I hit a junk, nope, missed that one too. There we go. Then I know I gained a score. Then, oops. Oh my god, it's actually not a bad game, to be honest. Okay, I lost a life. Yeah, it's sometimes it's not the easiest game to like see where you're at. Sometimes I get a bit lost, but like as you can see, I lost a life there. Like the asterisk went away, and then basically you just keep on losing lives until you exit. I mean, there I just pressed X, but yeah, and that's the game. Um, I think it's okay. Um, for it's not bad. I mean, I've never tried making a game before, so like this anyway. So I'm quite happy with it. Um, yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.